A hunter must hunt. A hunter must hunt. hunter must hunt.
Welcome, everyone. Let's fix the camera. There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Finglui Mugunaf Cthulhu Rilye Gognoggle Fun. Welcome, everyone. We're doing, as promised, we are wearing the crop top and fox ears. Both of them are on my body at this moment. You are getting what you won on Sunday. Yes, it is epic, Teddington. It is epic. It is very epic. I don't know why people are mad in the chat. You're getting what you asked for. I don't know. People are complaining. I assure you that it is on underneath of here. Here, I'll even prove it to you. Watch, look. Can I even see? See? Hang on. Where is it? Oh, it's like right here. You can see the bottom of it right there. There you go. There's the crop top. So technically, no, I am not. This is not cheating. This is not cheating. This is not. I am wearing the crop top, and technically that does satisfy the conditions. Technically. And as we know, the anthem of this stream is that technically correct is the best kind of correct. Did I really stay awake after a long way of work for this scam? Listen, this is not a scam. You're getting exactly what you paid for. Exactly what you pay for. Are people really going to riot if I don't show the crop top? Are people really going to riot? Technically, it's not technically a scam. There's no Oh, there's rioting. Rioting is occurring. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Don't ever say that I didn't do anything for you, chat. Okay? All right? Fine. Hang on, I gotta take this crap off. Hang on a second. This stuff's gotta come off. There we go. Hoodie is off. Is everyone happy now? Hoodie is off. There we go. The hoodie is off. Is everyone happy? All right. Okay, fine. I'm fine. I'm just doing a bit. Relax. I'm doing a bit. I wasn't about to just scam you. It's just a bit. Okay, hang on a second. There's not another shirt underneath. Okay, fine. Okay. There we go. Here we go. There's your crop top. I tried to make it as small as I could. I really did. I washed it 3 times and I put it in the dryer. I put it in the dryer on maximum heat. Listen, it's still a little baggy. That's because Helen of Tor does not know how to purchase clothing for me. Okay? Does not know. See? Look. Crop top. See? Next time, purchase clothing that's the correct size. Okay? We did it. Good work, team. Alrighty, let's reset all of my stuff that I... Yeah, no, I had words with her regarding how big of shirts are appropriate. I got him a large. Honey, Helen, larges are not for a man that exercises. Okay? An American large is for a fat person. Get a medium. Always a medium. Okay? Not a small, always a medium. Every time. Always medium, always. So there you go. Crop top is on. Crop top is on. The story behind this is that we were in Vegas at DEF CON, and we were in some kind of, I don't know, sweets meme shop, and we saw these crop tops that said "feeling like a snack," and then Helen of Tor apparently went online and bought it late after the fact. That's the story behind the crop top, and that's why we're here. Ominous with the 3-month re-indoctrination into the cult. Welcome back to the All Has Red team. Teddington with the 6 months. Good to have you back in the chat. Good to see you again. Otto Crane with the 7 months. And Unprepared with the first time Prime. Welcome to the All Has Red team, my friends.
What are you doing, step bro?
Turco, you're getting what you paid for. This is what you purchase. And by the way, I'm doing this pro bono. I don't actually make any money off of If You Laugh, You Lose because I'm giving all the extra money and more to other InfoSec streamers. So I don't actually give money. You guys gave money, and I'm just outsourcing it to other streamers and Jeff Bezos. I'm giving it to Jeff Bezos also, not intentionally, but Twitch takes an unfair cut of my proceeds. I made negative money off of Sunday. Okay? Negative money. Because I'm giving it all to other streamers. You guys gave money to play shit on the stream, and I'm giving it all to other streamers. We have a Fit Deck redeem? Of course we do. It's going to be Fit Decks all day. This is a Fit Deck stream now. Okay, it's apparently dips. We're doing dips. Is this a bad time to ask what your pronouns are? Yes, he, him will work just fine. I just occasionally wear shirts, apparently, that do not correlate with those pronouns. Let's see. I think I have to take Star's chair in the other room to do this properly. Hang on a sec. Okay, here we are. This will probably get weird. It always gets weird in here, okay? It always gets weird. We're doing Proving Grounds today at some point. Okay. All right, we're back. Okay. Al is a fat shamer? When did I say it? When did I say anything about overweight people? I just said that larges in the United States are made for people who are wider around the midsection than I am. The average American is wider around the midsection than I am, and therefore large shirts kind of tend to hang off of me. What in the furry hell is this? This is me. This is Al losing a bet. Christy, by the way, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. I forgot to thank you before. Thank you so much. It's good to have you. Welcome to all of your viewers. Orbital Gun with the 69 Tiggle biddies. Manny Calavera? Manny Calavera, thank you for the follow. Alrighty. Some of us have bigger chests, lulls, and not fat around the waist. Well, my chest is fine for my body weight. I assure you my chest is fine. But the problem is that the crop top kind of hangs off of me because it's expecting me to be wider around the midsection than I actually am. Also, and this will shock you, Helen of Tor, but this is not a male shirt. This is not a shirt that's made for men. A large on women is going to be shaped differently than a large on men. Tie the crop top? Oh yeah, I can do that. Hang on a second. Let me figure that out. Look, I bought this online, just guess. Okay, well now you've learned. Okay? And I said tie it. Okay, well this is my first time wearing a crop top. I don't know how to do it.
Must hunt.
Hello, how are you doing?
Chira Gartani, I'm questionable today because hang on. We've done so much since the beginning of the stream, I'm amazed. Yeah, we've gone far today. I think the crop top is expecting you to be a clothes hanger by the looks of it. It is a little bit, I tried to shrink it. I really did. It's 100% cotton. It must be pre-shrunk like a motherfucker. I really did try to shrink it. I washed it on maximum heat, and then I dried it on maximum heat. 3 times. Okay, only twice. I didn't do it 3 times. I did it twice.
A hunter must hunt.
Okay, there you go. I tied it. There you go. You happy? You happy? I tied it. We did it. Good work, team. Good work, team. Okay. Can we hack now? Jesus, why did I do this? Like, this is what you asked for. Like, I don't know what you're complaining about. Chira Gartani, thanks for the 8 months, by the way. J.A. with the 8 months as well. Anthony J.A., welcome. Not a good look for those unaware. Listen. I've done weirder shit, okay? I've done weirder shit than this. Do you have your programming socks on? No, just regular gray ones that I always wear. Also, large might have been the smallest size there. Oh. I wonder why that is. Let's scratch our heads. Why would large be the biggest size? Or be the smallest size? Because all the other ones are being bought. Yes, the others are sold out because those are the appropriate size shirts. Because large and up is too big. Alright, okay. We're just gonna get started hacking. Proving Grounds versus Hack the Box? Oh, Hack the Box is definitely harder on average. Definitely harder on average. See this season's latest in furry fashion. Taddington with the 100 Tiggle biddies. Thank you so much. Yeah, listen, you come to this stream expecting to see some wild, wacky cultist shit, okay? This is... You have to be prepared to gaze upon things that can cause madness. So that is what's happening today. You're getting a glimpse into eldritch madness. We're doing Proving Grounds today, Chira Gartani, unless there's like a super strong push to do some other thing. But I don't think we've done Proving Grounds in a while. Do you actually feel like a snack? No, I feel cold. It's cold in my apartment now. And what snack specifically? It's on the shirt. It's on the shirt. It's right there. I can't... Okay, there you go. It's on the shirt. That one. That one right there. Okay? Al is double stuffed. I am not double stuffed. Okay? Okay, we're going off proving grounds. Let me get logged in. I didn't know anyone could be so angry. And I'm not angry. How do I seem angry to you? I am not angry. I'm just getting logged into proving grounds. Give me a second. And then we'll start the actual content of the stream, which surprisingly has not been begun yet. It's play. What does the fuck? Oh my god, I hated that song. Thankfully, you never hear that song anymore, but I fucking hated it. I guess that's my username. I hope it is. Nope. Getting logged in. Can I get an ooh-woo? Ooh-woo! Ooh-woo! What's this? Okay, offensive security plays all kinds of fucking videos when you log into proving grounds now. Oh! Oh, shit! Wait a minute. We have some new boxes! Pog! Wait a minute. Pog Champ! Pog! Hang on, let's take a look. We have new boxes, chat. DC-1, DC-2. Are these Active Directory machines? Are these Active Direct? They're not? Okay, well, I got excited then. We're obviously we're starting with DC-1, right? We're obviously starting with DC-1. That's what we're obvious. Is everyone good with that? We can just start with that. Jer Berries and BRBicus, I guess. Thank you so much for the first time indoctrination into the cult. Welcome to the All Has Red team. It's good to have you here. I like the ooh-woo. I like the ears. Indeed. You guys bought this, okay? Flipso, thank you for the follow. Old as fuck boxes? Well, if we don't want to do DC-1, that's fine. I just saw these because it says new next to them. Oh, you know what? We'll just do a poll. We'll do a poll. We're not doing the Dawn ones because I know those ones have buffer overflows. Dawn has a buffer overflow, but I think I'm good with just about anything else. I don't want to do buffer overflows on Newbie Tuesday. I'm going to lose people. Is this active? I don't think it's Active Directory, no. Pole dance? We're not going to pole dance, no. We are not going to pole dance. Okay, we'll start with an easy box. We'll, let's do a poll. Just start with DC-1 and that's it? Okay, we'll start with DC-1, and if it's good, we'll go on to DC-2. It is Newbie Tuesday. I'm hoping something that's easy. Oh, I need to connect to that. Let's change. Okay. DC-1. There we go. Okay. So we're going to connect to the VPN first. These are all vulnerable machines that we can access on by connecting to Offensive Security's VPN. So the first thing we need to do is connect to that VPN, which you can... by the way, this is free. This is the free variety of Proving Grounds. There is a Proving Grounds practice that is a bit more... that has a monthly subscription. But this is the free version. You can make an account at offensivesecurity.com and play this for free. Crop top, where's the cleavage? Sorry, don't have any of that going on. OpenVPN. We're going to run the OpenVPN client. We're going to point it at... God, I can't type already. Already the typing ability is breaking down. Okay. So this produces a lot of output. All we really care about is the initialization sequence completed at the end. That means that we're connected to the VPN. And you can prove it if you do if config and look for the ton0 interface. Ton0 standing for tunnel. And we see that we do have an IPv4 address on our ton 0 interface, which means we have network connectivity to the VPN. Okay, let's go into Proving Grounds. Mukter DC-1, make a new DC-1 directory. tmux new tacS DC-1. We're just starting up our terminal multiplexer. The terminal multiplexer, called tmux for short, allows us to do cool things like split our terminals in half. We can do lots of powerful things inside of our terminal. It basically just makes our terminal much more powerful and modifiable. And, okay, let's do it. So let's go ahead and start up DC-1. It will take a second to start up. All you do is you click on this little play button, this little start button here once you're connected to the VPN, and that VM is currently being spun up for us. Stream Raiders is going right now. Stream Raiders is already running. We have 39 troops already. My goodness, Teddington coming back to the chat with a vengeance, dropping us 5 new cult initiates. Welcome to the All Has Red team. Rolly the Zergling, Random Cyber M, Birmingham 13, Not Now, and Torrential Echo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Teddington. That's so kind of you. Alrighty. So we're waiting for the box to spin up. It will take a moment. So, as always, guys, Jifferam. Not to be undone. Not to be outdone. Jifferam. Also bringing us 5 new cult initiates. California 909, ZOPO, Incredicate, Payload Viking, and No 13223. Welcome to the All Has Red team. Thank you, Jifferam, so much. So kind of you. And so I do want to talk a little bit about, since this is Newbie Tuesday, and I primarily see that what separates a newbie from a veteran is that the veteran eventually just decided to start doing stuff and decided to stop just like reading hacking books and watching hacking streamers in crop tops and expecting them to magically get good at hacking, okay? I deeply want what you see on this stream to inspire you. Not just in your pants, as, you know, obviously, but inspire you intellectually to go out and experiment with this stuff on your own time, because it's in that experimentation, in the personal molding that you do, in the struggling that you do, in the proving grounds, in Hack the Box, and Try Hack Me. That's where the learning happens. That's where you become an actual hacker, okay? So I really hope that my antics on this stream are inspiring you all to put your fingers on the keyboard and actually start doing stuff. This is not something that you're able to learn just by watching streamers do it, just by watching streamers do it, just by reading books about it, by watching IPSec videos. This is not something you can learn through those things. It must be you learn through your fingers, okay? You learn through experimentation, through failure, and repetition, through molding, and eventual success. That is how the learning happens. That's how the wrinkles are added to your brain. I know you're nervous. I know you're nervous because you're afraid of failing. That is okay. But you do need to get past that if you want to succeed, okay? Yes, experiment with your fingers. Perfect. I'm here for Star. She was running around earlier. She may come in at some point. If she comes in, I'll lift her up. The Mastery Play, thank you for the follow. So the box has an IP address now, so I am expecting it is up. So let's go ahead and ping it first, just to make sure that we have connectivity. And we do see that we can ping the machine. We can send a little packet to the machine, and the box is going to reply, "Yep, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm listening." And we can already, since this is a game of information, we can already draw a little bit of information about the box out of this from this time to live field. This time to live field is basically a lifespan for the packet. But ping packets have a tendency to get stuck in routing loops sometimes and bounce around kind of forever, where no router really knows where to go with the packet. So to prevent that, ping packets, ICMP packets, as we call them, will have a little field that says how long they're allowed to live for. Okay? So every time the packet crosses a router, this time to live is decremented. But this is relevant because the time to live field is set to an arbitrary value, and different operating systems will set it to different arbitrary values by default. Linux, for example, sets it at 64. And we do see a time to live value of 63 here, indicating it's very likely that it was a Linux machine that this packet came from. Windows will set it at 128 by default. It's unlikely that this packet crossed 65 routers on the way to us. So it's more likely this is a Linux machine than a Windows one. And Cisco devices actually set it at 256. So different time to live values can indicate just a little bit of an idea of what kind of box you're dealing with. When the box creator changes, it wouldn't really matter all that much. It'd be a little bit of a troll. But I'm just I point out this time to live thing to get you to read the output of your tools. Lots of people will send a ping and they'll just see, okay, I got packets back, we're good. But there's almost always with your tools, there's a little bit more information you could be drawing to them if you would just observe. Too often, we see output of the tool with our eyes, but we do not observe. There's a difference between seeing and observing. Observing is the process of taking in the visual information and processing it into your brain and getting the significance out of it. So I'm encouraging you to observe. Take a moment and read the output of your tools, okay? So let's start with an Nmap scan. We'll start with just a very basic Nmap scan. Those of you who've been on the stream for quite a while know that I have certain flags that I like to add. Everybody's going to have different flags that they like to add to their Nmap scans. It's but on Newbie Tuesday, I like to keep it as simple as possible, and we're just going to run a bait. And you will often in real life, you'll often run several Nmap scans rather than just one. So it makes sense to just kind of run a preliminary scan first. And right away, we see port 22, port 80, and port 111. TCP ports are all open. Okay? So what does this tell us? Well, Nmap seems to be informing us that SSH, HTTP, and RPC, and some service called RPC bind is running. But actually, Nmap doesn't really know. Okay? Nmap does not really know what services are on those ports. It's only guessing based on the number of the ports.
Observer is the never-ending list of syntax errors when I try to compile my programs.
Observe is the never... Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's just coding for you. That's just coding. Welcome to coding. So, if we want Nmap to actually enumerate what service is on these ports, we have to add some flags. We have to tell Nmap to do some extra things besides just do a basic port scan. So we can do tac sv to enumerate versions of software. And we can, to make it a little faster, we can say, hey, just scan these ports because we know these are the ports that it already found open. So there's no need to scan all 1,000 ports again. 80, 111. So Nmap is just going to scan those 3 ports, and it's going to then enumerate. It's going to do some additional work to try and enumerate what actual software is behind that port. What is listening there? Oreo Bite with 100 Tiggle Biddies. Thank you so much. Worry 10 and Legacy GR. Thank you for the follows. All right, so now we get a little bit more information we notice. We see port 22 has OpenSSH 6.0p1. This is quite an old version of SSH, but I still wouldn't expect it to have anything really sexy like a remote code execution vulnerability. Historically, SSH has been pretty good about preventing that kind of thing. We do see a somewhat old version of Apache as well. The box is probably just old, okay? Lots of Proving Grounds and VulnHub boxes are like this. They're just kind of old. We also see RPC is open, which is not usually terribly interesting to us, but might be depending on how the box goes. We'll see. Now, it's important to note that by default, Nmap only scans the top 1,000 ports. So it only scanned 1,000 points here, but there are actually 65,535 TCP ports. So if we want Nmap to scan... So when I say top 1,000 ports, I don't mean port 1 to 1,000. What I actually mean is the 1,000 most common ports. So ports like 3389, which are higher than 1,000, are still in that top 1,000 just because they're very common. So if we wanted to scan all ports, we need to add the TAC-P for ports, which we saw up here, and then just add the TAC, another TAC afterwards, another hyphen, just to indicate, hey, scan all ports. You could also do this if you wanted to be verbose. You could simply say 1 to 65,535. TAC, we'll do TAC V for verbose mode. Normally Nmap will only tell you what it found when it finishes scanning, but since a full port scan takes a little while, we'll do it with the verbose one. So every time it finds a new open port, it will tell us. Okay, so we see the same ports open right off the bat. So while this is running, we can have a little enumeration going on, automated enumeration going on in the background, while we go ahead and open up our web browser, because we do see a web server open on port 80. So let's go ahead and enumerate that manually while Nmap does some legwork on the back end for us. Drupal. So right off the bat, we're seeing that we are in some kind of a placeholder Drupal site here. Okay? Don't even get me started with UDP is a different thing. I'm not going to go into UDP scans. There's a whole separate... UDP is a completely different protocol, and it sits on... and it's than TCP. So if you want Nmap to scan UDP ports, you have to add the TAC SU parameter. I usually will not do that unless I don't find anything anywhere else. And there are a number of reasons for that. The number one reason is UDP scans take a really long time to finish. And they're very unreliable if there's a firewall in the way. Robots.txt is interesting. Of course, robots.txt. Let's go ahead and check robots.txt. Oh, wow. That is a lot of things. Is this some kind of default thing from Drupal? So robots.txt includes is a common file to find on web servers because it defines how search engines will index that website. So Google and Bing and Dogpile and DuckDuckGo have bots that are constantly trolling the internet. Not trolling the internet, constantly patrolling the internet, looking for new pages to add to their search engine databases. And when it finds a new page, it will immediately look for robots.txt first. The robots.txt tells the search engine what pages should not be indexed specifically. So you can see a lot. So a lot of times there will be admin login pages in robots.txt and stuff like that. So you always want to check robots.txt in evaluating a web server. Which ports make you perk up immediately? Good question. So port 80. Port 80 is a very common port that you're definitely going to want to look at. 3389, which is remote desktop. 445, which is Windows server message block. 8080, which is typical port that other web servers like Tomcat will run. FTP, port 21. Those are probably the ports that I deal with the most, that are most commonly exploitable. Stubtail, thank you for the follow. JJ Storm, thank you for the follow. I am Miracle. What's the deal with the ears? I lost the bet last stream. So today, we're wearing a crop top and fox ears because I make poor life choices. Oh, 443 also, which is just web servers on SSL. Thank you so much. You do a good job explaining to us. I do my best. This is Newbie Tuesday, so I do my best to break it down as much as possible. It looks like we have another fit deck. Let's do Stream Raiders and a fit deck before we continue. There's going to be lots of fit decks today, of course, as is tradition. You say 443 is on SSL, but isn't TLS newer? I mean, SSL and TLS are sort of the like, they're not the same thing, but they pretty much refer to the same thing in common parlance. Yeah, I know. I put the cooldown on there for a reason. I'm not dumb. Man, we are clapping cheeks in Stream Raiders today. It's not even close. They're gonna have to send us more difficult challenges in this because we are clapping some fucking cheeks. Alrighty, let's do a stream.
What's that mug?
God. I'm not engineering this deck. I even sit here and I shuffle it all the time. And it gives me fire hydrants on... Crop Top Day. Splendid. Sub-terminal with the 6 months. What's that mug? This is my Cthulhu mug. I got it for Christmas. It is thematic. Sammy D with the follow. Thank you so much. Ghost or Spooky, thank you for the follow as well. Alright, let's do these fucking fire hydrants. I don't even know if these damn... I don't know if these damn ears are gonna stay on. Ah, God. Why do I do this to myself for content? Okay. All right. Okay, well, the fox ear stayed on, so that's good news. When are you going to hack from a hot tub and in a bikini? Never. I can't say that probably is... Well, at DEF CON, I maybe could be persuaded. Maybe at DEF CON, we'll do like a special hot tub stream or something. What is your thoughts on old SSL TLS versions being disclosed as critical or high on testing reports? Personally, I think it's daft and does my head in. Well, rating them as... The ratings on the vulnerability is fairly arbitrary. Every vulnerability needs to be taken in context. Like, if you're just doing a static website with SSL TLS, with an old SSL TLS version, I would rate that quite low. Because it's just a static website. But if you're running an online store, like, so if you're running an online store and people are sending payment information, and so on and so forth, to your website, and you're using an old SSL version, which has vulnerabilities in the cryptography, then yeah, I would rate that probably high. I would definitely rate that a high, possibly a critical. The context of a vulnerability is everything. So if you get asked in an interview, like, how severe is like cross-site scripting or whatever, and the answer is literally always, it depends. Because every vulnerability is to be taken in context. Remote code execution vulnerabilities are often super sexy, and scary, and they look scary on a report. But it is possible that if maybe you got remote code execution, but the code is only executing inside of a tiny sandbox, and you haven't been able to escape from that sandbox, I would rate it lower. I would rate it probably a medium or maybe still a high, but it definitely wouldn't be a critical in that case. I mean, it's tough. You're basically saying that if the impact is big, regardless of the vulnerability, rating is high. Yeah. Well, every vulnerability needs to be taken in context. What could an attacker potentially accomplish with that vulnerability? There is no hard and fast set, like cross-site scripting vulnerabilities are always high and RCEs are always critical. This is not how anything works. This is not how pen testing works. Every vulnerability is to be taken in context. So yeah, that's sort of how yeah. So if people are rating, like Nessus likes to say high. Predominantly, usually when people are rating old SSL versions, those are usually popping up with Nessus. Like Nessus likes to rank those high or critical for some reason. Usually not critical. It rates them high though. And so oftentimes what you're seeing is Nessus output. Nessus just ranks it high. That's just always what it does. And some pen testers won't filter that and will just send you the Nessus results, or essentially parse the Nessus results into their report and just include it among the highs. But really, that's not accurate. Really, it's just every vulnerability needs to be taken in context. I would rate it high or even critical if a lot of sensitive data is traversing that SSL, that outdated SSL. I would not rate it high if it was just a static website. So it's all contextual. All contextual. Dilly Swags, thank you for the follow. Excellent name. All right, so we do see Drupal here. We can go ahead and copy this robots.txt into our notes. We are good hackers, so we want to make sure we're taking good notes. Always make sure you're taking very nice notes. So this is the kind of thing to put into your notes right here. I'm using Obsidian. If you're wondering what note-taking app this is, it is open source. It's easy enough to find it online. So we have here we have the robots.txt in here. I wonder if that's just a default for Drupal. I don't know for sure. We could try some basic usernames here. Admin. Unrecognized username or password. Admin password. So this is also something to note. Drupal is responding when we log in by saying when we fail our login by saying unrecognized username or password. This is another thing that's potentially a finding. Well, this is not a finding, but if it said incorrect password or something like that, and you put in some other like username that definitely doesn't exist in here, and there it said user does not exist or something, we call that username enumeration, and oftentimes that would be a finding because the web application returns different results depending on the username, if the username is correct or not. So an attacker could potentially enumerate valid usernames using this. I don't think Obsidian is actually open source. Well, it's easy. It might not be open source, but it's easy enough to just download it. It's free software. Let's go. Have you forgotten your password? Let's see. What do we have? Is not recognized as a... Oh, okay. So if we put admin here... Ah! So this is just exactly what I've been talking about here. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Note that if we put a username in here... If we put a username in here that does not exist... in the request password field, it throws an error and says not recognized as a username or email address. But if we put a username that does exist in here, we get further instructions have been sent to your email address. So this is username enumeration, and I would put this as a finding on the report that I'm not going to be writing because this is just an intentionally vulnerable machine. Does that make sense? So if you could find the users and can't brute force because you get blocked out of X number of attempts, it's still a finding? It would still be a finding, yeah. Because like if an attacker suspected that a particular person they were whose account they were interested in compromising existed on this site, they could probably enumerate if that username exists without necessarily brute forcing. Kind of like WordPress? Yes, WordPress is also known for this. And just like WordPress, there's a special scanner that exists specifically for scanning Drupal. Drupal is another CMS much like WordPress. And I think that there is... WordPress has WP Scan, and I think there's Droop Scan? I think. Droop Scan. Here we go. Do I have Droop Scan? Sudo apt search Droop. We do see a port open here on 37701. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. I'm wondering what service is running there, but we won't worry about that right now because I want to run Droop Scan first. Apt tac-y att search Droop Scan. Is that am I spelling it correctly? There's an E for some reason. Okay, Droop-eskin. Droop-eskin. Okay, Droop-eskin is not... Okay, there is a Docker file. I don't know if I want to do Docker. Oh, it's just a pip package. Okay, pip install Droop Scan. Droop-eskin. Okay, we're installing Droop-eskin. And we could have run it in a Docker container if we wanted to. I won't do that. I normally would have done it this way for a tool like DroopScan, but I feel like that's going to confuse people because this is Newbie Tuesday, so we're not going to use that. Okay, Droop, do I have this command now? I do. So Droop Scan tac H. So all right, so CMS scanning. So we can do Droop Scan. Scan. We're scanning Drupal. Okay, Drupal. Tac U for the URL. Is that threads? Is T threads? It does not say. Let's do Droop Scan, tac help. I just want to know what the tac T is. I think it's threads, which is basically how fast this thing is going to try and run. We'll do tac enumerate as well. We'll just run it. Droop-eskin, scan, tac U, and we'll put the username, we'll put the URL in there. Okay. Tac enumerate. It said by default it does all enumeration. That's good. And hopefully that's enough. Expected one argument. Default is all available. We'll do tac A. Tac E A for enumerate all. Site identified as Drupal. Okay, so it is scanning. So this is going to... Johnny MD5 with the 8 months. Welcome. Welcome back to the All Has Red team. Why would you run it in a Docker container? Because a Docker container is an isolated environment that prevents its dependencies from interacting with other dependencies on my machine. Python has a real issue with dependencies not playing well together. Normally it's fine, especially if you're in a VM. It just helps me keep my machine a little bit cleaner by running tools inside of Docker containers when I can. You're running basically when you run the tool in a Docker container, you're running it in an isolated environment that's specifically designed to run that specific application. So you won't have any dependency issues. You won't have any. It solves all these issues with Python dependencies, with I don't know, kernel versions being out of date or anything like that. You're running an environment that has been tested and is optimized. Did you see the indictment of the admin of raid forums? No, I did not. I do miss raid forums. I wasn't like a regular contributor, but it was a good place to like have an account to keep your finger on, like the seedier side of the cybersecurity community. Data breaches would often turn up there, and I could add them to my personal database of leaked credentials. And I'm still waiting for, if anyone knows if a new raid forums has popped up, let me know, because it wasn't a good place, but it was useful for me. Some 21-year-old from Portugal apparently made the site at like 15. Yeah, that's always the way it is. The FBI took it over a couple of months ago, and we're using it as a phishing site for a while. We are still waiting for this scan to finish. Yeah, there's some nostalgia for you. Yeah, and I'm starting to see why they use the threads as well, but I don't want to stop it now. We're too far in. Yeah, welcome. Breached.2? Is this... I'm checking it. Oh, good. Okay, fantastic. This looks like raid forums. Database... Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, that looks like raid forums to me. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll make again, I'm not a contributor to these forums, and I don't recommend that you take part in the seedier part of the hacking community. But it is good if you're a security practitioner. It's just if you're a security practitioner, part of your job is keeping your finger on the pulse of these people. Okay, you have to know what's going on in the seedier, and you look. There are breaches. You get, like, it's just good. It's just good to keep your finger on the pulse. That's all I'm saying. Can someone shoot me the link? It's just breached.co. I'll put it in the mod Discord, as was requested. That's helpful because raid forums was the place I would go to look for data breaches before, but I no longer have those, so. That's why I go there, just for research? Exactly. I mean, you don't have to take part in it, but it's good to know what's going on. I go to 4chan for the same reason. Well, I go to 4chan for the same reason I go to the zoo. But it is still good to keep your finger on the pulse of what the Nazis are doing and talking about. Dr. Yeti, thank you for the follow. Cthulhu foughten to you, my friend. You go for the Giga Chat. There isn't a single Giga Chat that even knows what 4chan is. Have I been pwned is not good enough? No, it is not. If you have I been pwned just tells you if the email you've put in was in a data breach. It doesn't tell you what the credentials are. When I'm looking for credentials in a data breach, I'm not looking to see whose accounts have been breached. I'm looking for credentials so that I can try them on their VPN or whatever. I have an account at Dhashed. I've been using Dhashed ever since raid forums went down. I do have a subscription at Dhashed for that reason. Dhashed keeps all those data breaches and allows you to search the databases to find actual credentials. So they do what I needed to do for the most part. Have I been pwned just tells you if your website was, if your email or username was breached. It doesn't tell you what the credentials were. Which is what I want to know as a penetration tester. That's what I need. I need the credentials. We're almost done here. We're almost done. Oh my god. I feel like I'm going to die if this takes any much longer. %. What's dehashed? It's dehashed. D-E-H-A-S-H-E-D. Dehashed. What's the scan doing right now? Not a clue. It's not even saying. Oh my god, there's more? No!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Why even have a progress bar if there's just going to be more progress bars?
Doing step bro.
Quernovila, I'm waiting for that. There's got to be more Okay, we can look at that other port while this is running, okay? Listen, I should have run it with the threads. I should have taken the threads, okay? I should have done the threads. I regret my life choices. There are several things that are happening on this stream right now that have resulted from my poor life choices. Jiffaram, I am here in fox ears and a crop top. This is only the second time I wore these things. The first time, of course, being with your mother. This is the first time I've worn them without her being here. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained, Jiffaram? All right, let's see what's running on this port. We do see this port is open, but Nmap doesn't know what's running on it. So let's have Nmap scan that port especially with the TAC SV option. I am certainly regretting many life choices this stream. This is the stream of regretting life choices. Toxic streamer? Yes. So toxic. Very toxic. No regrets. No regrets. All right, so we see service status 1. What is this? I have no idea what this is. I don't know what this is. It says it's RPC, so it must be another RPC port. Another high RPC port. Your ears are getting cut off from the stream? Okay, well, they're only getting cut off by like a tiny little bit. There's like 2 hairs getting cut off. There's got to be something with this droop scan. Oh, thank God, we're done. Okay, what do we have? We have the admin URL. So we have some possible versions. So let's take the highest version. And let's throw it into SearchSploit and see what we get. Drupal Geddon, add admin user. You had my curiosity. But now you have my attention. So we do see remote code. So this is apparently a SQL injection. I've heard of Drupal. Oh, there's a Metasploit module. Not putting these findings into your notes? Yeah, we will put it into the notes. Yeah, that's fine. There's not a whole lot of them. So we did find a bunch of plugins for us. Which we would want to look at if we didn't find an out-of-date version of Drupal that appears to have some vulnerabilities. Let's go ahead and put that in. So do we want to attempt to use the Metasploit module, or do we want to do it manually? Or with, we have a POC here. Let's just look at what this is. SearchSploit. Attack X for examine. That. A sample of an exploit for Drupal 7 vulnerability. You must be authenticated and with the power of deleting a node. So we don't... This looks like it's authenticated. Oh, this is authenticated. Okay, so that does not work for us because we do not have... Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it with a script first, okay? And then we'll do it with Metasploit. We'll do it both ways. This is Newbie Tuesday. I don't mind doing it both ways, okay? We go both ways on Newbie Tuesday, okay? And apparently I do as well on a personal note, okay? Alrighty. Says Crop Top Owl lol. That is the joke. You have identified the joke. Joke located. Nothing's getting past subterminal today. He's on the fucking ball today, dude. He's on the ball. Oh my goodness. I can't do Alhaz Ross right now. I'm wearing the ears. Hey, I'm sorry. I can't do Alhaz Ross right now because of the ears. I have to wear the ears because I promised it on Sunday. Mods, can you refund developers points, please? You can redeem it at another time of your choice. Not today. No fighter pilot Al or Alhaz Ross today. But redeem at another time of your choice. I apologize. I can't. I would totally do it in the crop top, but I have to wear the ears as well. I can't do the ears. All right, so we have a PHP exploit. This is to 7.31, which it appears ours is definitely vulnerable to. So let's do the Python exploit. I'm a little bit more comfortable with Python. So let's just take a look at what the Python exploit is. It looks like it is a squeal injection. Wow, this is a short exploit. From Drupal pass, import Drupal hash. God, this is Python 2. It's hard coding a hash in here. Maybe that's just a maybe that's a default key. That might be a key of some kind. I don't know what this Drupal hash library does. Okay, got get hash. Is there one that doesn't require me to like install libraries that I don't know? Add admin user sounds good. Let's do that. So far, this is quite OSCP-like. It is Drupal. Oh, this is the Drupal hash. This looks like it is the library. It's defining the Drupal hash class. And it looks like it's creating the hash of the password. And then it's going to just do a SQL injection to insert that hash directly into the admin database and into the database. It has a bunch of user agents it will choose from at random, it looks like. This looks like a much better made script. All right, let's try this. This looks like a much better made script. So let's do search exploit tac m for mirror. Is this Python 2 again? I'm going to puke. If this is Python 2. Nope, it's 3. Nope, it's Python 2. Fuck!
No, God!
Well, at least it runs. At least it executes without me having to install any other libraries. If it were any other libraries I would have to install, I was probably going to have to set up a Docker container to avoid polluting my Python path on my Kali. But thankfully, it's just executing here. We get the help dialog. So this looks like pretty straightforward. So we can just do tac-t for target. It's always good to review your scripts to know what they're doing. This one appears to be... it's declaring a class, which is reusable. Someone could load this code and... I guess it's just the root page here. Okay, tac-t. Tac-u will make my username alhazred. Tac-p for Cthulhu fhtagn is fine. Just in case there are password complexity requirements. Tac-p. Okay. It is vulnerable. Wow, that was fast. Okay. Really quick SQL injection. So looks like... Or squeal injection. I keep pronouncing it incorrectly. I think eventually we're going to have somebody in the chat who's going to be like, I went to an interview and I talked about squeal injection and they laughed at me. Why did you lead me astray, Mr. Streamer? And we're logged in as an admin now. We are now logged in. Bustin' makes us feel good, friends. So we are now an admin user. Can we access the admin backend now? We can. Splendid. Appearance, I think, is probably what we want. Enabled themes. So this one is the one that's default. Can I add PHP to this? So generally, if you can access the admin console of a website, you're going to be able to get code execution through some means. So let's just poke around a little bit here. I did see that there was that other vulnerability. If you were on like the OSCP exam, the first thing you would want to, now that you have a admin user, you would want to do one of these, the authenticated remote code execution, to get code execution immediately. But I'm going to try and do it manually for you if I can figure it out. I'm not super familiar with Drupal, I confess. But special perms will help find the password, but you will need to tac exec that command. So this must be a hint for the privask. I don't care about that. This is just lorem ipsum content. Can I edit? Can I add PHP to this? It looks like it's just HTML and not PHP. How do I add PHP to the website? There has to be a way. There is a limit to using Metasploit on OSCP unless they have changed it. Settings. Update. I am not terribly familiar with Drupal, I confess. In WordPress, there are ways to like modify themes and put PHP into the themes. Use the post. Yeah, we'll use that in just a second. I'm just trying to see if I can do this manually before I commit to that. There's probably a way to upload a malicious module as well. You see we are now an administrator user here. We also see a user Fred. We want to mark that down because he might be relevant in the privask. So we'll mark down that we found a Fred user. How much for Nya redeem? Nya. I guess. Meh. That's what Star says. Meh. Modules. You could add a malicious module, I would say. Install new module. Yeah, so you could just add a malicious module here. Malicious Drupal module. Okay, here we go. A PHP shell, a module info, and a .ht and an htaccess file with the contents shown in the image. rce.png, installing module.png. Look at module.png. Okay, so we have a shell.php. Very, very simple web shell here. This seems good. Let's do this. Sounds fun. Super manually. Again, obviously, there is a script that exists right here. And we will use that here in a second. But since this is Newbie Tuesday, we're just going to take our time with it, and we're going to do it manually. Okay? It's privileged to install new modules. Click Extend tab and go to Install New Theme page. Admin Modules Install. Yeah, that's where we are. Create a directory of 3 files in it. A module info and an htaccess file with the... Okay. Let's open up a new... Drupal module. All this effort when you could just set up an OnlyFans and show some skin. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you guys. You wouldn't learn. Create a tarball of the directory. Browse the tarball and upload it. Install the module. Now visit the RCE page. And it even gives you the name of the module. Splendid. Victor Cthulhu module. We'll call it Cthulhu mod. I want to give it a distinctive name so that I can find it later. All right, PHP shell. Let's open up module.png. So the PHP shell can be very, very simple. We'll call it shell.php. PHP echo Cthulhu fhtagn system $_request CM. We'll call it fhtagn. And there we go. So very simple PHP web shell. Let me explain what it's doing. The first thing it's doing is it's just printing Cthulhu fhtagn to the screen. This helps me to debug, to make sure that the PHP file exists on the server and the PHP is executing. If I see Cthulhu fhtagn, then I know that the PHP file is there and it is executing. And then it's just executing the system method. And it's accepting it's looking for a get or post parameter called fhtagn, and it will execute the command in there through the system method. Very simple stuff. So we also need to add cthulhumod.info.yaml, it looks like. mod.info.yaml. Name Drupal RCE. We'll just call it Cthulhu module. Type module. Description. Package. PHP shell. Dependencies. We're changing it to 7.0 just in case, because the version of Drupal is older. I don't even know if this stuff even matters. Asking how much for his bathwater. I don't take baths. Project. Cthulhu. Module. We'll call it Cthulhu mod. Date stamp. 155. This is just epic time. 283. 90. Okay, let me just double check. 155.072.8390. Cthulhu mod. I hope that these versions and things aren't gonna pitch a fit at me. PHP shell. Okay. Okay. So we've got cthulhumod.info.yaml and cat.htaccess. If module mod rewrite.c. So this is for Apache, not Drupal. If module mod rewrite.c. Rewrite engine on. Rewrite base. Okay, so a little bit of XML there. All right. So we got those files in it. Let's go ahead and tar this up. Tar tac. I can never remember. I swear to God, I always have to look up tar's help. Every time. Create architect CF. C for compress. Said CVZF. Oh yeah, it needs to be CVZF because we're also gun zipping it. Cowardly refusing to create an empty archive. How am I doing it wrong? I hate tar. Tar gets me every time, dude. Oh, I have to create archive.tar. There we go. All right, so we've got cthulhumod.tar.gz. Let's try and upload it here. Again, we're going to way more trouble than we really need to here. But it is Newbie Tuesday, and I'm trying to break everything down as much as possible. DC-1. Install. Unable to create directory. Huh. It looks like this is a permissions problem. I just got Hammer. I just got out of an interview and was talking about squeal injections, and they laughed at me. Why would you lead me astray, Mr. Crop Top Furry Streamer? Well played. So it looks like there's a permissions issue with the user that Drupal is running as. It looks like it doesn't have the permissions to create the directory in which modules go in. Which is not a problem I'm going to be able to bypass. So we're going to probably just have to go with the other RCE. Oh, we have to IO a fit deck as well. We'll do a fit deck as well. Change Fred's password? I don't why would that change anything? It's usually better to avoid changing users' passwords if you can get away with it. Technique with the most kills and Ara JT with the most assists. All right, let's do a fit deck real quick. Because don't ever say I don't do anything for you, chat. No, swimmers are boring. Wall sits. 2 minutes of wall sits. Okay, where's the best to do a wall sit? I guess right here, huh? Doing wall sits.
What are you doing, step bro?
I'm doing what chat wants me to do. What do you want? What do you mean? What is step bro doing? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? I can see that stop mauling redemption. Whoever it was, I fucked your mother. Whoever's told me to stop molding, I had sex with their mother literally 2 hours ago.
What are you doing, step bro?
You guys know very well what I'm doing, okay? Why do I do this? Okay. So, this is not a problem with me, it looks like. This is a problem that whatever user Drupal is running as on the server does not have permissions to create a directory where they're trying to create it. So it looks like this is not something we're going to be able to bypass. So let's go back over to SurfExploit. And we'll try this authenticated remote code execution. Man, there's a whole bunch of them. We'll examine this one. Power of deleting a node. Retrieve the form build ID from the response. This will display the results of the whoami command. Okay, well, what about, what even is a node in Drupal? I don't see nodes. Fuck it. There were other ones. Remote code execution POC. Let's do this one. This is kind of the way it goes with these old apps sometimes. Sometimes you end up browsing around a little bit until you find an exploit that works properly. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward, it looks like. Let's just try running this and see if it works. M for mirror. Is this Python 3? Are we in the modern era? I think this is Python 3. Okay. Python 3. Enter target URL. Perfect. Okay, let's do this. That. And we get 1,000 errors. So we got 100,000 errors. Name or failing to establish a connection. Did we lose connectivity to the box somehow? I think a node is anything in Drupal. Okay, well, I'm trying not to get too complicated here. We're getting 100,000 errors. Name or service not known. It's got, look at the host equals where? I mean, I'm doing it just like it said in the example right here. Put a slash at the end? Oh, God. Really? Is that the way it's going to be? Random Python script? Not exploitable, it says. So it looks like we're kind of out of luck on that one. Yeah, this one looks like... Which one did we try? This one? Yeah, this one is for 8, so that doesn't work. Well, I guess we can just do the Metasploit module. Is this Metasploit? This is a Ruby script. Normally when I see Ruby, I just assume it's Metasploit. Let's just take a look, though. Okay. Okay, this is Ruby. I don't know why people would write scripts in Ruby on purpose. I guess we'll just give it a try. I don't know why someone would willingly write a script in Ruby that's not in Metasploit. But whatever. We're going to try it anyways. Ruby. Okay, so target. It does require we'll do authentication. I don't know if it needs authentication or not. We'll do tac authentication, tac verbose. Enter username, perfect. Is this not? Oh, come on. Why the fuck is the username not being shown? The name of the username. What? The username form field. What do you mean enter the name of the username? What? What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck do you mean by username form field? If I just... I don't think it's CAPTCHA. I don't know. Username? I don't fucking know. Password, I guess. Okay. Like, can you not... I guess user login, maybe. Okay. Like, alright, this is garbage. We're using Metasploit. Jesus Christ. Metasploit it is. Holy shit, dude.
What are you doing, step bro?
This script is garbage. What do you mean, what am I doing? Trying to get a shitty Ruby script to work. Veto YXYZ. Tuesday evening, nightfall, Vatoer. Gkin. Seiya. Thank you for the follows. Cthulhu foughten to all of you. Metasploit go burr. Exactly. Metasploit go burr. For some reason, we can't find a good POC that works here, so we'll just search Drupal. This looks like what we were just doing. And this is SQL injection. This is from 2014. So it's probably going to be one of these two. We'll do this one. We'll try that one first, because it has a check function. Set payload. We'll do interpreter. That's fine. Whatever. I don't want to, though. I hate Linux. We'll just do interpreter. Whatever. Show options. Set our hosts. So Metasploit is a exploitation framework. If you're not familiar with this, it has many exploits already built into it. And we're just going to use one. Show options. Set localhost ton0 to specify our VPN interface. Set local port 8443 is fine. Let's give it a try. I should have run check beforehand. Okay, never mind. It seems like it's working. Okay, yay. Didn't you guys just learn? Magic happened. Magic happened, and we got Interpreter Session 1 opened. Yeah, there you go. So this is why, I mean, no one should look down at you for using Metasploit. It is limited on the OSCP, but you should not feel bad for using Metasploit, like in the real world. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It does do some... It's best if you know what the exploits are doing on the back end. What you want to avoid with Metasploit is just kind of like shooting off exploits without really knowing what they're doing. Define limited. You can use it on one box on the OSCP exam, and then you can never use it again. But in the real world, you have no limitations in Metasploit use, and you'll use it all the time. Is Metasploit Pro a thing in the real world? I mean, if it is a thing and that it exists, Metasploit Pro does exist. I've never used it. I've never had a license to Metasploit Pro, so I don't know how good it is. Get UID. We are www data. So let's enter a shell here. Let's do... I'm going to catch a reverse shell from Interpreter here. And the reason I'm going to do this is because it lets me stabilize my shell a little bit easier when Interpreter would normally stop me from doing that. What am I doing? If config ton 0. This. We'll make the port 8444. This is the Hack Tools browser extension in Firefox. This is free to download. You can just Google it or look it up in the Firefox extensions. It's also on Chrome. You can also get one on Chrome. Okay. So we're just executing another reverse shell. So now we have like just a raw reverse shell, which I prefer. Which Python 3. Which Python? Python-c import pty pty.spawn bin bash. So we're going to have Python spawn a tty for us. Then we're going to background the shell with Control-Z. And then we're going to go stty raw minus echo and then foreground it again. stty raw is telling my terminal here in Kali to go ahead and to not interpret my keystrokes at all and just send them straight through the reverse shell, which is what we want. And the minus echo is going to turn off terminal echo, which is what you see right here when the machine echoes back the command that you gave it before actually executing it. We don't want that. It's a little unsightly. And then the semicolon FG is just going to foreground the shell again. Here we are. Export term equals xterm. 256 color. And we can even set our TTY, stty-a, to see how large our terminal is. It has our terminal apparently has 40 rows and 138 columns. stty rows. Why can't I type? That was weird. Rows 40, cols 138. And there we go. Now we can clear the screen. We can use Vim and Nano if we wanted to. Does that make sense? Does everyone follow what we did there? We did that like a million times. Am I allowed to check my notes and my OSCP materials during the exam? Absolutely. You can check any notes you have. You can check the OSCP PDF. It's not a test of memorization. It's essentially an open book exam. Yeah, essentially an open book exam. Anybody have any questions about how we got to this point? This was very OSCP-like, I would say. We scanned the box, and we found that there was a web server. We investigated the web server, and we found that it was running Drupal. We ran a specialized scanner just for Drupal, and the version was detected as somewhere in the 7.26 range, if I remember right. And then we ran that version into SearchSploit, and we found a large number of vulnerabilities called Drupal Getin that we then used to get code execution. Listen to the last podcast of Darknet Diaries. I have not listened to it yet, but people have recommended it, so I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. So they're testing your ability to use everything at your disposal to perform the tasks as optimally as possible and know what you're doing? Yes. That's the whole point of OSCP. OSCP is the first attempt at a practical pen testing exam. That's the goal. And practically, you don't have any limitations in the real world. In the real world, as on real pen tests, you don't have any limitations about checking notes or checking OSCP checking OSCP course materials or anything like that. You have all of that at your disposal. You have Google at your disposal. This seemed pretty hefty for an easy box. This was pretty straightforward. We just fumbled a little bit because I was trying to do things manually rather than Metasploit. If I was going as fast as possible, we probably would have had root like half an hour ago already. I don't know how hard the Privesc is going to be, but the user would have been very simple. Just to throw it in Metasploit and fire it off. In the real world, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Yeah, that's it. OSCP is similar to real life in that way. Discordia Adams and Eldus Systemus, thank you for the follows. I really like the Strugger of Hack the Box's Bug Bounty Cert and PNPT. Yeah, both of those are good certs as well. Both of those are really good certs as well. They're trying to compete with OSCP. So, let's see what we have here. We are running as the www data user, which means we want to primarily be looking for credentials somewhere. We are concerned about credentials. Oh, we have flag1.txt is here as well. Oh, that must be... That was in the... we saw that on the web page. We would like database credentials if we can find them. Maybe web.config? I'm not sure where Drupal stores them. We're looking for fine additions to our collection here. And that's going to be found in, like, configuration files, perhaps. Authorize.php, perhaps? Drupal root. Where's the database stuff? Yeah, htaccess can sometimes have credentials in them. htpasswd will more often have credentials in them, but we don't see htpasswd. We do see a MySQL database. Let's do Drupal database config file. Settings.php. Sites default settings.php. Let's see if it's in there. We're looking for credentials to the database. That is what we want. And we found him.
A fine addition to my collection.
We found a nice, fine addition to our collection here. When you are running as a user, when you get access as a user on a box, when you get your initial access, the first thing you need to be concerned about, both on OSCP, Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, real life, you're concerned immediately about credentials that user might have access to. Okay? Like, let's say, for example, that we fished our way in to a Windows machine. Okay? Let's say that we got some poor sap to click on some link that they shouldn't have, and it executed code on their machine, and we now have a shell on a machine as that user. Where might we look for credentials? We're running as a normal domain user on a workstation, on a company workstation. Where might we look for credentials? I'm trying to get you guys into the habit of thinking when you get initial access as a user, you need to think about where that user might be storing their credentials. Subterminal got it right, the most correct, I think. All of those are good things. But the first thing that I'm going to is passwords saved in the web browser. You know, when web browsers store passwords to easily log you in later, users take advantage of that all the time. And so credentials are stored in that web browser and can be retrieved by that user. You could also, if the user's running as admin, you could run Mimikatz. You could also look on their desktop for, passwords.txt, credentials.txt, and stuff like that. Most folks I know save passwords in an Excel file on the desktop. Yeah, there you go. You need to be thinking about where credentials might be stored. When you're running as a web server user like www.data on a Linux server, the most immediate place you're going to be able to find credentials is probably going to be in the database configuration file for the website. The website's going to have a database on the back end 9 times out of 10, and it needs credentials to access that database. And those credentials have to be somewhere. They have to be stored on the server somewhere. And they're right here. Welcome. So we have a DB user, and the password is Rocket. Rocco the Rocket. And the database is DrupalDB. Why can I not exit? There we go. Things are a little laggy today, I notice. MySQL TAC U DB user. TAC P. We'll do TAC D for database DrupalDB. TAC P. There's no TAC D. Fuck it. Whatever. TAC P. Password is Rocket. There we go. So we're into the MySQL database. Show databases. Use DrupalDB. Show tables. Users. We're interested in users. We want more fine
A
additions.
fine addition to my collection.
Select star from users. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There we go. And we have hashes. Vim hashes.txt. I don't know if John will recognize these by default. Got some hashes in there. And we can John hashes.txt, and we can try and crack these. It looks like it did identify them as Drupal 7 hashes, and it's going to run rocku.txt against them. Rocku.txt is a good guess for, if you're not sure what word lists to run, it's a good guess to run. Star was a naughty girl recently. She did. She ate my chicken the other night. She thinks she's so sneaky. She thinks she's so sneaky and that I wouldn't know she ate the chicken. But I know she ate the chicken. Aussie Potato, thank you for the follow. Yeah, she just left it just chilling on the desk. So it looks like these hashes aren't cracking like very quickly, so we'll just let this run in the background while we come back over here. That's all we need from this database. So let's figure out cat etc passwd grep sh. We're looking for users that have a shell. A login shell. So interestingly, nobody has bin sh specified for a login shell. We also see a backup user. We see quite a few bin sh. In fact, everybody has a goddamn shell. Unusual. Let's go. Let's see what home directories there are here. We do have a local.txt, which is the flag that offensive security wants you to submit. So we find local.txt. And we can put it in right here. And you'll see that it gives us a, it advances our progress bar here. Okay. And we do see a flag4 directory, which is readable by us. Okay, we can read flag4.txt. Can you use this same method to find or access the flag in root? Probably, but it's not that easy, or maybe it is. So we can cat root proof.txt. Permission denied. Alas and alack. But we do see a bash history here, but unfortunately it is not readable by us. We would need to be the flag4 user. We can see if we have any sudo permissions. I wouldn't typically expect to have sudo permissions on a when I'm running as the website. That'd be a little unusual. I'd be interested to see if an SSH brute force would yield anything. It's that's sort of, even if it would work, I wouldn't want to do it because it's not interesting. We could try to sue flag4 here. We do have some credentials. Let's try Rocket. If you have credentials, you should use them everywhere. What is going on? Authentication failure. So that didn't work. Let's look at groups. We're just in the www data group. Let's check the op directory. Nothing there. Let's check the root directory. See if there's anything out of the ordinary in there. I do not see anything out of the ordinary. SSH is open, certainly. I would definitely say this box is quite OSCP-like so far. I would definitely say that. Oh yeah, Stream Raiders time is good. Let's do Stream Raiders. I personally think brute force. There's way too much brute forcing on. There's way too much brute forcing on in OSCP and on or not OSCP, but Proving Grounds boxes. IMO. No background music? There is background music playing. Oh, you mean no Stream Raiders background music? There you go. Teddington and just a guy with the most kills and most assists. Proceeding to, I guess, here. Yeah, maybe it's just low. I can turn it up a smidge. There you go. I did a box recently where the solution was to do cool and brute force. That was the only foothold. Yeah, those boxes are kind of boring, but they are realistic at least. 22 millions Coville. Thank you for the follow. Okay, some other things we can check for here. We didn't look for SUID binaries yet, did we? TAC perm, TAC 4000. 2 raid dev null. See if there's anything out of the ordinary here. Mount, ping. These are all normal. Is at normal? If we don't know, we can just go to GTFO bins and it will tell us. So SUID, set user ID, is a shorthand for set user ID. That means that these binaries always run with the permissions of the owner of the file. Rather than with the permissions of someone who runs it. So if you don't recognize, if you look for these, yeah, SUID it looks like is normal. So it's common to find misconfigured set UID binaries that are owned by root, such as this one. I'm pretty sure find is not supposed to be there. If the binary has the SUID set, it does not. So there you go. So find has attack exec option. as attack exec option, which it will execute on every file it finds. In this case, we can just have it find every file in our current directory and just execute binsh for the first and for each one, which will should give us a shell as root. Is that correct? Yeah. I regret my life choices. Illegal option TAC P. Oh, it's a Debian-based system, so yeah, it doesn't like those. There you go. Now we're root. There we go. I forgot to do this before, so...
Hackerman.
I'm in. God, it looks ridiculous with the fox ears. But we are root, my friends. Any questions, comments, concerns? Any questions about that box at all? We will do another one. We're not done. We are not done. We will do another one. How much time do we have? Yeah, we got time. We'll do another one. Quick catch up of what you just did. Okay, so we scanned the box. We found that there was a web server running. The web server was running Drupal. Drupal was scanned with a specialized Drupal scanner. J-Beers, welcome. Thank you for the raid, my friend. How was your stream? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Flip my bit. Thank you for the follow. So we found that the version of Drupal was out of date and vulnerable to several exploits. We used one of those exploits to get remote code execution on the machine using Metasploit. We also used one to add an administrator user, which also could have gotten code execution. Once we were that user, we browsed around, we accessed the database, and dumped the hashes out. Did any of those hashes then crack? Those hashes have not cracked. It looks like Drupal is pretty slow to crack, so they may not crack. Those look like pretty intense hashes. We do need to get the flag. That is true. And from there, we looked for SUID binaries, and we found that find was available as an SUID binary. We checked GTFO bins, and GTFO bins gave us a very simple command to execute to root the machine. And there we go. Now, do we want to go on to DC-2, or do we want to do a different one? We'll do a poll. We'll do a poll. Let's do inclusiveness. Trying to keep it to Newbie Tuesday stuff here. And we'll do Ha Nitraj. There you go. Are you streaming this Thursday? Yes. I will be streaming on Thursday. Will it take more than an hour and a half? I don't know. Depends. It'll take as long as it takes. So we can close down this box and get ready for the new one. Okay. Let's go ahead and shut down the box that we were doing before. Yes. I'm just wondering how the VPN works in Proving Grounds because it says 1.5 hours for today. If you're on the Proving Grounds... Oh, I forgot about that. I always forget about that. So we do only have a little bit... we have an hour and a half left. If you're using the free version of Proving Grounds, you only have 3 hours per day in the VPN. So we've apparently used up a little over half of that. So we will need to make sure that we finish the box in 1 hour and 20 minutes or so. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, Todas, thank you for the follow. Does anybody have any questions about that box? Very simple. Very OSCP-like. But if you're lost anywhere, make sure to ask questions. Don't just, like, speedrun that. We're not going to speedrun on... we did plenty of speedruns on Sunday. We're not going to speedrun. Today's Newbie Tuesday. We're breaking it down as much as possible. It's for the newbies. All right. It looks like, as is tradition, we will have a tie. Oh, SunsetNoontide won by just a little bit. Joke's on you, people who always try to make it a tie. Jifram, thanks for the 100 Tiggle biddies, my friend.
Ring ding 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 ring ding.
Is that supposed to be what does the fox say? I hate you. You're trying to text to speech, what does the fox say? I love Newbie Tuesday. Yay, thanks, J Beers. It's a good day. Every day's a good day for hacking, though. We're starting up SunsetNoontide here. We'll give it a minute to start. Okay. Starting up a new TMUX session. I need to rebuild my Kali instance, I'm telling you. I'm way overdue for rebuilding Kali. SunsetNoontide, opening up a new page of notes. I think that is Crazy Frog. Oh, same thing. Mysterious83, Gillis with the kills. Jills with the kills. And Dimitrov, thank you for the follow. Cthulhu Fountain to all of you. If you've got questions, feel free to ask. We're starting the new box here in just a sec. Do you save your notes to an NFS? I've been backing up my OSCP notes to an NFS share on my home network. I have a shared, it's not NFS, but I have a shared folder between my Hack the Box machine, or between my VM and my host, if that's what you mean. I do not store them online except in my Patreon, where people pay to access them if they would like. All right, it looks like we can access the box now, so let's go ahead, fire this off. Ooh. So, interesting. We don't see SSH. We don't see port 80 open. We see port 6667, which is IRC, Internet Relay Chat. In the old days, you kids these days, and your Discords and your WhatsApps and your Facebook messengers and your whatever you fucking Zoomers have these days. But in the old days, in the early days of the internet, we had IRC chat, Internet Relay Chat, and up until like 2 years ago, up until like even 1 year ago, that's what offensive security was using as well. Oh yeah, AOL Instant Messenger, we had that too. But IRC was kind of like the Wild West of the internet back in when the internet was first getting started. So let's see what we have here. Tech SV, Tech SC. The TAC-SC option we haven't seen yet on this particular stream, but that is to run default enumeration scripts. Nmap has a large number of enumeration scripts that it can optionally run. This just runs the default options against this IRC service to give us a little bit more information. Why does it say 999 closed ports and not 65534? Good question. Because by default, Nmap only scans the most common 1000 ports. If you want it to scan all ports, you have to tell it to scan all ports. By default, it only scans the most common ones. We have Unreal IRCD. This looks like a default. So let's just Google that. Unreal IRCD. You love to see stuff like this, chat. You're...
Now this is pod racing.
When you type the name of a piece of software in, and all you get is Unreal IRCD exploit, backdoor detection, exploit. Jesus Christ. Unreal, is it backdoor? Backdoor, so it looks like there is a Metasploit module for this as well. We'll see if we can do this one manually as well. The discovery of an announcement of a backdoor. So it looks like this was a supply chain exploit. So someone gained access to the Unreal IRCD software in development, the development version, and added some code to it that was not very cash money of them. It was not very cash money of them. Real live security vulnerability. It's hard to prove that Linux is insecure. Internet Relay Chat IRC server runs on most platforms and has added a number of features that some folks find useful. The mirrors of the source distribution of a version 3.2.81 of Unreal IRCD were replaced with a version that contained a backdoor. That backdoor could easily be used by an attacker to run any command on a system running the compromised server. That command would obviously run with the permissions of the user that executed it. The backdoor was designed to look like a debug statement in the code. Debug log eventually resolves to a call to system, while debug mode info is just a string AB. Thus, commands sent to the server that start with AB will be handed off directly to system. Not a particularly sophisticated backdoor, okay. So how can we execute this manually? I've never actually tried to connect to IRC through just the command line. I don't want a client. Fuck clients. Linux command line IRC. There's not just one in the terminal? EPT TAC Y search hex chat, maybe? Alright, we'll try hex chat. It's fine. APT I remember I used hex chat for OSCP back in the day. I don't care. We'll just use hex chat. I used hex chat for OSCP back in the day. We'll use that for right now. See how that goes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we have a Metasploit module. Let me just look at the Let me just look at this. This looks pretty straightforward. It's just A, B, and then the payload. It looks pretty straightforward. Okay, hex chat. Let's open that up. Sure. Let's add one. And let's add we'll just call it Proving Grounds, I guess. Can I edit? Oh, here we go. Can I just add... what was the IP address? 192.168... 193.120. It was 66667. It's 667. Oh, we don't want to do that. Remove. Connect. Unknown host. SSL was turned on? Okay, that would do it then. You didn't add... I'm sure I didn't do it right, chat. So how would I do this? Edit. We don't want to use SSL. Okay. 192.168.193.120. I disable SSL. Okay. Oh, it needs to be a different port. Yes, thank you. Again, this is way more than you need to do. There's plenty of, like, publicly published exploits for this. There's one in Metasploit again. I'm just trying to do it manually because I'm trying to learn here. Connect. Oh, there we go. It looks like we do have a connection here. Nothing, I'll join a channel later, that's fine. So we can go AB, ping, and we can try and ping our IP address to see if we have code execution. Sudo TCP dumptech iton 0 ICMP. Okay. Doesn't look like it worked. Try joining a channel. I don't think there are any channels. I don't think there are any channels, but I guess we could slash join. RCE channel, I guess. Okay, we're in RCE channel. Hello. Okay, let's try it now. AB. Who am I? Does not seem to be working. Does it have to be /AB, I wonder? Yeah, I tried /AB. That didn't work either. Like this? Oh, /quote maybe. Still not getting it. This is not working like I'd hoped. I don't want to do Python. Oh, triggered by entering AB upon connecting. So it only works when you're just connecting to the server. It's not going to work now. Yeah, so we would have to do this manually with netcat. Perfect. We'll do it with netcat. That works. All right. Quit. We're learning, chat. We'll split this in half. And we'll see netcat. Tac VN. For verbose and to not do name resolution, which doesn't really matter here. Yeah, I was wondering how to do it without a script. Nice. That's why we're here on Newbie Tuesday. We're learning. It's all about learning, okay? Yeah, there are tons of scripts that could do this, but we learn more this way. So we're connected, and now we can do AB like this, and then ping taxi 3. Oh, come on. Oh, the terminal's just messed up, but it's fine. And there we go. So upon connecting, you can just send a command and we get pings. Hi, honey. Yes, I know. Come here. Come here, sweetie. Star. What are you doing? Damn it. I don't know what her deal is today. She's been weird all day today. Come on, honey. Come on. She's like, "What are you wearing?" Yeah, I guess that could be it. Can I just send it again? Can I just do the same thing? No. So it kills the connection. So we'll connect, and then we will connect, and then we will send a bash one-liner. 8443. Let's go ahead and generate a bash one-liner for us. Okay. Go back over here. Let's just do it one more time. Okay, we do AB. And then we paste in the bash one-liner. And there we go. We are server. So we do have remote code execution here.
Hackerman.
I'm in. Were you ever in the military? I was. For most of my career, I was in my professional career, I was in the military. Which Python 3. Python 3-C. Import pty. pty.spawn. Same stuff we did last box to stabilize the shell. stty raw minus echo. God, this thing is slowing down. Rows 40, columns 138. Okay. Export term equals X term. 256 color. And there we go. Alrighty. Alexander Hamilton and Stark Vader, thank you for the follow. Any questions about that? Again, very OSCP-like. What you would see differently on the OSCP exam is there'd be a lot more stuff running rather than just IRC. You would see probably like 10, 15, 20 ports open, and you would have to enumerate all those ports before you actually got to IRC. But the actual exploitation, very OSCP-like. And again, as plenty of people have pointed out, there are lots of scripts that exist to do this in an automated sense. There was no real need to use those, though. We just figured out how to do it manually, and we learned a little bit more doing it that way. How often do you upload to YouTube? Not very often. I really need to upload more often. I need to continue putting my old VODs up on there. I'm saving the old VODs, and they're building up on my computer, and I just never upload them, so I need to get down to uploading them. Can you now hack Twitch chat? No, Twitch chat uses WebSockets. Does not use IRC, uses WebSockets. You should make a Udemy course? Yeah, I'm told that's where the real money is. That's what Tiberius tells me, but I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to teach you guys and have a good time. All right. Does anybody have any questions about that IRC exploit? The red teaming TikTok is growing? Really? No shame? No, I'm not trying to shame anyone who tries to make money. I'm just not trying to make money. It's not my goal. Why do you do things if not for the Cthulhu Eldritch God that is capitalism? All the Eldritch gods are far more agreeable to me than capitalism. All right. This is the IRC chat. I can't imagine there are any actual credentials in here. Local.txt. Okay, so we submit another flag. We get more progress here. We get a nice dopamine rush. We do stream raiders now. Do. A Cthulhu-themed course would be so cool. I don't even know what I would make it on, honestly. It's been recommended to me several times before, but I don't even know what I would make it on. Lawrence FH, Mr. Hanso, thank you for the follow. Maybe exploit development in NIM or something. Do you have a list of recommended boxes? Look up TJ Null's list. He's an OffSec employee. who's made a very useful list of Hack the Box machines for OSCP prep. Try Hack Me also has machines that are literally labeled for OSCP prep, so you can look into that as well. All right, so let's go back. 10 student, thank you for the follow. We selected editor. What is selected editor? Oh, it's just nano. Just check out these. We're in home server. So this is an actual user on the machine. No SSH, but we didn't see SSH open, so that makes sense. Sudo tacl. See if we have any sudo permissions. Sudo does not even exist. Nothing there. Let's check the opt directory, see if anything's installed. Find root tac perm tac 4000. See if we get any other SUID binaries. These all look normal. Yeah, all these look normal. So no SUID binaries this time. Groups. Check groups. Quite a few groups were in here, but none of them look exploitable. These all look like normal user groups. There could be a cron, but we could cat Etsy cron tab. Nothing there. There could be something in root cron that we can't see, but all in all, let's just run linps here. I'm fine showing off linps on Newbie Tuesday because you need a good script to enumerate. You need a good script to enumerate to do all this enumeration stuff for you. I like to check like basic stuff, and then use linps if my basic stuffs don't turn up anything interesting. Okay, so we're hosting linps on a simple Python web server. We're gonna come back over here. We're gonna go. Do we have curl? We do not. Do we have wget? Okay, we do have wget. We'll return to the home directory, wget http:// linps.sh. Okay. So we will chmod plus x linps.sh linps.sh, and we will pipe the output into T, which is going to display the output to us, but at the same time output it to a file. We'll call it linps.out, and we'll see what we get here. I would say there's probably a bunch of kernel exploits we could use. I'm going to shy away from those unless it's determined to be an intended escalation path. Oh, we do see something. Nope. Nope, it's just finding the word backup in an IRC thing. We see, is root running anything that's interesting? Nope. Okay, so this is just an example. Oh, so on reboot, whenever the box reboots to run IRC, it tells it to run IRC again. That doesn't look exploitable in any way. I don't see anything. This just looks like IRC stuff. Don't see anything there. This is normal. Ping is supposed to have that capability. I can talk too. I can speak Babby. She's behind me on the floor just babbling at me. I don't know if you can hear her. So there was just nothing, huh? So what was the... Maybe it is supposed to be a kernel. So we'll look in search exploit for the kernel version. No results. We'll do like that, maybe? There's got to be some stuff, right? Digital Silicon. Welcome, my friend. Good to have you. Thank you for the follow. Is there any website for lab practice for AD in Azure? TryHackMe has some AD machines. So does Hack the Box. Ever listens to the Darknet Diaries? I have actually never listened to Darknet Diaries. It's been recommended to me many, many times. I'm not really a podcast guy, but honestly, I probably should try Darknet Diaries out. I've heard nothing but good things. If you're new to the stream, by the way, I do not always wear a crop top and fox ears. This is not normal. This is not normal. Chat is forcing me to do this. Okay, what was it? Is it 4.19.0? It looks like we have this. We could try this. Chat, shut up, Technique. Fuck you. Chat is forcing me to do this. There's not as many options as I had hoped. We can try one of these. Let's try one of these exploits, see if that works. It's a wrapper for John Horn's exploit of CVE 2018. It looks like it needs GCC. It does have GCC. Let's just try this. Okay. We're going to get 47167.sh. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. PK exec is not installed. Feels bad, man. Let's try one of these other ones. With kernel exploits, he often ends up just kind of doing this. With cron seems fine. Let's try that. Uh, 47164. It looks like we're missing a lot of stuff that needs to be installed on the machine in order for this exploit to work. Is there a DEF CON this year? There is. There is. I have my hotel reservations and everything. This is what we already looked at. I mean, we could just have it compile this. We could just do this stuff manually. The problem is that the GCC we have is going to be different than the GCC on the target. And the problem that happens there is that... The problem that happens there is that... is that if you have GCC of different versions, sometimes they're not compatible with one another. With these kernel exploits, they're really picky. We could do Docker. I don't know if this is intended, though. Like, linpeas didn't find anything. How do you do the thorough checks? Is it tac T? There's a thorough checks thing, and I usually set it to always do the thorough checks. Hang on. I'm going to make sure that's correct. linpeas GitHub. Before I go down this rabbit hole of trying to... compile this kernel exploit, I want to make sure that linpeas didn't miss anything. I normally tweak linpeas so that my version of linpeas so that it always does the thorough checks. But I don't think I've done that with this version. All checks. So it's tac A. See, before I go down a rabbit hole here, let's just make sure that I didn't miss anything. With linpeas. Looks like it's still going. I'm going to scroll up while it's running. So we get much more output with the thorough checks. Oh, it's waiting for a minute to see what processes are executed. So we'll give it a second. Okay, still going. We do not have internet access. It's just hanging. That's the same stuff as before. It's probably not going to find anything new. It feels like it's going to be a giant pain in the ass going down this kernel exploit rabbit hole. I hate kernel exploits. So before I do that, I just really want to make sure that that is what I'm supposed to do. Maybe try default creds? There are no default creds on the root user. Brute forcing the root user really isn't my, isn't normal in these particular boxes. Oh man, I'm hungry. I had a breakfast burrito this morning, and that's all I've had all day. I have got to eat. I guess root Tor was default credentials back in the day for Kali, at least. I've apparently done this box and looked at my notes. You want a snack? I want a meal. I am hungry. Oh my god, how long is this going to take? Please stop scanning. Oh my god. It's fucking scanning. Well, I don't want it to miss anything, so I guess we have to do all checks. Check the time we have left. Good call. Let's check real quick. We've got 40 minutes left. Come on, dude. Like, why does it have it scanning now? That sucks. I didn't even know LinP's did port scans either. Apparently, I haven't been running it with thorough checks for a really long time. They've added all this other crap. Alright, fuck this. So people are saying try default credentials. Oh my god. And it won't stop now. Are you kidding me? I can't get out of it now. It's stuck. Alright. I'm killing it. We're killing it. It appears to be stuck. We'll just catch another shell. It's no big deal. And we did not... Is IRC still hanging? Is the IRC has to be threaded. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, we could have run pspy as well. I should have done that. We might have run out of time. We have 40 more minutes. I'm looking right at it. I'm just going to reset the box really quick. It looks like LinP's has crashed the box. Not crashed, but it's hanging. We'll just start it back up again. It'll only take like 40 seconds. We're gonna get there. It looks like we don't want to run LinP's with the full checks because I just don't want to go down like a super kernel exploit rabbit hole. Usually kernel exploits are not required. Proving Grounds does have a few more kernel exploits than the other platforms, but usually kernel exploits are not intended. So I usually shy away from those. Let's see if we can connect. So what's the new IP address? 193.120. It's the same one. We're connected. Did we connect? We did. Cool. So don't run LinP's with the TAC A option unless you want it to hang the box, apparently. Okay. Alright, what did we do? Su root. Tor. I'm out of default options. Su root. Password. Nope. Su root. Root.
Why are you the way that you are?
Well, I'm glad someone said it in chat because I never would have tried that in 100 years.
Step bro.
I never would have tried that. We could have been here all fucking night and I would not have tried that.
Why are you the way that you are?
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
What happened? We just escalated to root with the classic root. What the fuck are you doing? I'm just expressing my displeasure that the way to escalate on this machine was just to assume that the password was root. We could have run pspy. Let's try running pspy and see if we get anything interesting, just for funsies. Pspy allows us to do process spying in Linux without elevated permissions.
What are you doing, step bro?
Escalating to root in the dumbest way possible. That is what step bro is doing. Uname tech A. This is a 64-bit machine. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. We want pspy 64-bit. This one. Okay. We'll see if pspy picks up anything interesting. We see it picked up its own process. This allows us to catch cron jobs that we can't see because they're in the root cron tab. If there are any cron jobs in the root cron tab, we'll still be able to see them as they run. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm a little annoyed too, but in fairness, it's a real vector. It's realistic. I just wouldn't say it's terribly interesting. We're gonna see if we get it. We'll give it a minute here, see if we get anything. See if we get any cron jobs running. It could be that was the intended way to root the box. It has to be. It has to be. Why would they set the password to root if that wasn't the intended way to root the box? It's boring. But I guess it's not super out of the ordinary, I guess. It is an easy box after all. Could have been the other way, was not intended. Makes sense. Yeah. The other kernel exploit was fairly recent. We could use polkit. There are plenty of other kernel exploits we could have used, like polkit, that would have worked. Or pwnekit, we're calling it. Pwnekit. But, I mean, those things aren't interesting because we know that they work. All right, looks like there's nothing here. So we'll just call it there. We'll get the proof.txt. Does anybody have any questions about that machine? Pretty simple. That was a good machine to do as a second box. Pretty simple and straightforward. I'm glad someone clued me into trying random default passwords because I never would have guessed that. Thank you for the content. You explained things very well, and I learned a lot from you. Hey, thanks for being here, Bitmog. We'll be back on Thursday. This time not in a crop top and fox ears, though. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about either box that we did tonight? We did 2 boxes. Which one? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have questions in general, feel free to ask. I'll hang out for a few minutes before I raid somebody.
A hunter must hunt.
Orbital Gun indoctrinating Bitmog into the cult. Welcome to the All Has Red team. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll go ahead and raid Taggart today. Taggart is doing Attack on Tuesday where he does offensive stuff. MT Taggart is a blue teamer, a fellow Twitch streamer, and a blue teamer. But on Tuesdays he does do offensive stuff, so we will we'll give him we'll send him a raid here in a few minutes. Can you explain why IDORs happen and an example of vulnerable code to IDOR? I mean, I don't have vulnerable code prepared for you, but IDOR stands for Insecure Direct Object Reference. It typically happens like, for example, let's say that, let's say you make an account on a web page, and when you view your own profile, let's say that when you edit your own profile, the URL looks something like, hang on, let's go back to here. This notepad. IDORs pretty much happen when, like, let's just say it's http://some site.com/profile/number edit. So let's say that IDORs happen because when developers don't account for the fact that people can browse to any web page without clicking on a link, essentially. They don't expect endpoints to be accessed directly. Like let's say that you are, let's say your user ID is 123. Okay? So this you're accessing the profile of user 123 and you're editing it. But let's say that you're just like that you noticed this 123 and said, well, what if I put user 1? If an IDOR was present, you would then be able to modify the profile of username 1. That's what an insecure direct object reference is. I'm pretty sure that Portswigger's Web Security Academy will have examples of that, I'm pretty sure. Go check that out. It's free. I found a honeypot binary and executed it. I think that's what activated ChrootKit on the other machine. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, the developer posted a try hack me machine. That's about IDOR if you want to learn about IDOR. Any other questions? Oh, thank you so much, Digital Silicon, for the 100 Tegel biddies. It's so kind of you. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. We'll be back again on Thursday.
/m/Ql stream at L4ZR3D.
Ben Akiba and Raptor Puddle, thanks for the follows. So we're going to stream MT Taggart today. Bring him the glad tidings of Dread Cthulhu. Bring him strong cultist vibes. And go add more wrinkles to your brain on his stream. Always plenty of wrinkles to be had over there on that stream. Do Stream Raiders as well. Let's do Stream Raiders really quickly. Oh, it's too late. We're already raiding. I should have run this before the raid. I should have run this before I triggered the raid. I apologize. But thank you for being here as always. Go to bed tonight knowing a little bit more than you did yesterday. I'll see you guys again when the stars are right, which incidentally will be on Thursday. So, yeah, get vaccinated, stay safe. Love you all.